Now we move on to configure Snmp on Windows Server. So at the first time we should install the Snmp service here in Windows Server 2012 R2 in Server Manager. And here on Manage, we'll add a feature. Next, and again next. And this is the role. We need the feature. We'll install Snmp service here. And we can see Snmp WMI provider. That's great. We'll install both of them. And next, and we'll say install. So as you can see, we finish up adding the Snmp feature here. We'll close this window and we'll say services.msd that you can find it in your control panel in administrative tools. So here we'll search for Snmp service. At the first time, we should configure security. Here we can specify the community, which is going to be read only or read write or recreate. And read recreate is for database. Actually, I didn't use this read recreate anymore. I just only use read, write, and here you can see notify and noun. Notify is like read only. So we'll say read only, which is by default. And here we can say the community. I just type lab, which is capital. But for you in your production environment, it is strongly recommended that you use the complex Snmp community string. So we'll add it here. And this box here, it tells you you can specify the security. As you can see, is only reflected to localhost. We will add our PRTG server. And we'll hit add. And apply. And we'll go to the traps tabs here. So you will notice that it doesn't actually reflect the community name that are on the previous screen for security. If you add Snmp string here, it still will not show up here. So again, we'll add the community name for trap. And here we'll add our NMS or Network Management System, which is going to be our PRTG. And we'll say apply and OK. So you might be asking, what about this Snmp Trap service down here? Well, this is for allowing the server that you are on to receive trap messages generated by local or remote simple network management agent and force the messages to Snmp program on a remote computer. We can say it like a trap forwarder. So we'll done the configuration on the Windows side. We will go to the PRTG to add this server by Snmp protocol. So again, we'll go to device. And down here, we'll right click to the remote server here and we'll add a sensor. So this time we will say disk Windows Snmp. That's great. And here we'll add this sensor. As you can see, it will give you the error here because we don't configure the Snmp on that server. And I just wanted to show you if you don't configure the Snmp, what is going to be happen. As you can see, it tells you that check your Snmp or the version of Snmp or whatever. So we'll get back to the device, I mean Windows Server or your switches or whatever. Here we'll right click and we'll say setting. And we'll scroll down here to configure Snmp. Keep in mind that you can configure SNMP on your group parent. That you can add more devices instead of adding one by one. So here we will say lab. Great. And again, port is 161. And here we'll hit OK. So again, we right click on the server and add sensor again. So disk, Windows, and SNMP. Great. Now this time, as you can see, the sensor is added easily. Here. And again, we'll add another sensor, CPU, Windows, SNMP, and we'll say add and create. So again, we'll add another sensor here, memory, Windows, SNMP. And here we can specify virtual memory or physical memory. We'll select both of them and we'll hit create. Great. And here we'll say scan now and we'll do a refresh to see the sensors. So sometimes it takes more than 1 or 2 minutes to show up the sensor's status. As you can see, now we get 10 sensor, which is green. That's great. Here we can see the virtual memory, downtime, the percent available memory channel here, and the total memory here. Great. And here we can see the graph for memory. So again, I should tell you about the groups here. You can configure the SNMP here on the parent, which is going to be group or local probe, or the group of devices, something like your switches or your Windows or whatever. Here again, we'll say lab. That means if you install SNMP on those servers, you can easily add them all. So in today's lesson, we learned how we can monitor our Windows server by the protocol of SNMP.